What's going on, guys? Vic VP back with another Gamecase Arcades video. On this one today, we got a Neo Geo 6-slot big red arcade cabinet from a viewer slash subscriber slash friend of mine. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh, it's a Neo Geo. It's a real Neo Geo in the garage. This is mind-blowing. Let's take a look. Bam, 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 bam. That's my Neo Geo intro. Yeah, let's go. All right, you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at Vic_VP. There's a Linktree link down below. Go click it. You'll see all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure to also like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this big red. And also let me know what you think about the idea that I have for this cabinet. Again, check all the socials. Be sure to also watch all the YouTube shorts and the Instagram shorts. TikTok also gets longer videos. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow all the socials. Go. It's like the thing now. Just go to social. Yes. Socialize on socials. Go, follow. Yes, I'm a broken record with that, but it's also great. As you can see with the socials, people like yourselves, people like this viewer, subscriber, not just of me, he's also a customer of Joel, Retro Lizard. He is a big fan of the whole Four Musketeers, so he watches Brad, he watches Ray, all of us. And luckily with socials, you could communicate and talk to all of us like regular human beings. And because of socials, because of the whole Facebook Messenger, I was fortunate and lucky enough for this viewer by the name of Tanner to reach out to me and basically give me an offer. It's not really an offer, I didn't pay for it. He gifted it to me. I'm very grateful for this gift. He reached out to me and said, "Hey Vic, man, I'm getting rid of this. Do you want it?" And when I saw the picture of it, I was like, whoa, I've personally never seen a 6-slot Neo Geo. This thing is big. Big red is what Tanner called, and I believe that is what it would be called, is big red. This cabinet is big, but if you know me, Neo Geo just has a very special place in my heart. Neo Geo, Metal Slug. I remember growing up in the garage where my father had a business. It was, somebody bought us a 4-slot. And I remember being able to like select the game and the track mode, and it just brought back memory. Again, Neo Geo, if you know it, downstairs I have my 32-inch custom Neo Geo cabinet that I made with my 2-slot, I called it, 2-slot gold edition with the gold trim. Yes, I'm a big fan of Neo Geo. And now I could proudly say I got a gift from a viewer slash subscriber. Again, big thank you to Tanner. This is like childhood, bigger. I'm used to the 2-slot or the 4-slot growing up, and it was like a 17-inch screen. This is a 6-slot with a 32-inch screen. It's a great present. Thank you, Tanner. I can't even hug it. It's too big. Now let's start with the basics. Let's talk about Tanner. Let's talk about the message that he sent me, and then I'll talk about my little journey, because I got so excited and I said, yes, I will take it. I didn't realize how far he was. But I kind of woke up. I was like, let me not be lazy. And I drove 400 miles round trip. So 200 miles from New York to Massachusetts, where Tanner is located. Went, picked this cabinet up. He showed me his insane game room. Mind-blowing. He had like 12 pins. He has 3 shooters, including an Aliens mounted gun. He has a Terminator Salvation and a Swarm mounted gun. I was like in awe. Quite a drive. It took me 3 hours to get there. And then it was a Sunday, so Sunday is family day, so I did have to come back for the family and for dinner. I should have honestly planned to stay the entire day. It was funny. We were checking out the pinball machines, and Tanner's like, Vic, like, press start. And I was like, Tanner, no. You don't understand, like if I press start on this, I'm not leaving, and I'm gonna have a upset wife and family, so. But it was just awesome. Like I said, let's start with the basics. Let's talk about the actual Facebook message that he sent me. So the message starts pretty plain, sweet, and simple. He goes, "Hey Vic, it's me, Tanner. I had a question. Would you be interested in a Neo Geo? It's a 6-slot, but I have a 1-slot in it because it's easier to fix, and I also have a bunch of games, including a new Metal Slug 4 cart." So yes, we're gonna be talking about the system and all that once we get into the nitty-gritty of it. As you can see, it is a 6-slot cab, but it only has a 1-slot in it. It's okay, let's go slow with it. He did mention there was a little bit of an audio issue, but it works great, and he had a 30 or 32-inch screen put in it. And I was like, whoa. He sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, wow, this is, number one, it's a big cabinet. I was like, this is big. And then like number two, he already has now an LCD swap on it. I said that, I was like, wow, that's a big cabinet. I would probably put like a PC in it if it doesn't work out and all that. So he goes, yeah, if you want it, you can take it. And I was like, wow, do you want me to try to sell it for you? And he's like, no, you could just take it. And I was like, okay, I'll take a gift. Why not? Of course, it is a Neo Geo, an iconic. This, to me, like I said, it's not this specific cabinet that I grew up with, but Red Sides, Neo Geo, the Game Select, that's what I grew up with. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. And then he hits me with, I'm in Massachusetts. And I was like, oh crap. We're looking at about 195 miles out from me. So I just had to basically motivate myself to pick a day and then drive out and prepare myself for a 3 to 4 hour drive. And then we were going back and forth on the chat. He has also, if you guys are interested, he is trying to sell a Killer Instinct that he has. And he's also selling a Gauntlet Legends. Pretty big cabinet too. I saw it in person. I was like, whoa, this thing is big. It's got the big marquee on it. Yeah, so if any of you are interested, you could let me know and then I could let Tanner know. But yes, there you go. Like I said, that's what's great about socials. You could always reach out to me specifically, and we could either talk, whether we're talking about basic gaming stuff, if you need some helps, tips, tricks, you want some, assistance as far as PC games and how to get it to work with arcade sticks, I'm always down. But man, he would probably go down in the books as the only person to gift me an arcade cabinet of such size. It's like insane. I'm like still like in awe as I stand next to it. Look how tall it is. Look at this. I believe I measured it out. It was 76 inches tall. While I had it in the truck, I did put wheels on it. I did put casters on it for it to be like easily movable a little bit. Because in the garage here, it's not gonna stay here. I do have plans for this. I'll tell you about my plans for this. It'll probably stay here. I definitely do plan to stream a couple of games with this because now we have an actual Neo Geo with Neo Geo hardware. There's a lot. My mind's going crazy. I'm just shocked that there's a big red in the garage. Now let me tell you the backstory behind this because Tanner told me the story behind this. He got this from a guy in California. I guess it's like a guy that like refurbishes games, which is cool because in California he got this, and I believe he also got his Killer Instinct that he showed me and he actually booted up. It did have an LCD conversion on it, but it did have a 4x3 or 5x4 conversion. So whoever is doing this stuff, at least they're doing it appropriately. Like I said, this here, the big eye-catching thing is that this does have either a 30 or 32-inch LCD modded into it. So like I said, I was like reading his messages about like the 1-slot and the swapping, and I'm like, oh man, like, I never experienced this. I'm going to talk about the carts that he gave me. He gave me a bunch of carts. He has here the 161 game cart. I did play a couple of games and I did come into a couple of issues. But like I said, whoever's doing this in California, awesome stuff. He said the guy like shipped it to him. Look at it, it's like immaculate. There's no scratches on this. It is like pristine. I would assume it's an actual real Neo Geo. It has to be. This isn't like a cabinet that was like, not refurbished, but like a whole brand new cut. Like I'm just like shocked. It is like pristine. And honestly, the way Tanner is, and like I said, he had like 12 pinball machines. His machines were like immaculate, beautiful conditions. I give him a big kudos. I was like, dude, you keep your machines like me. They're clean as hell. But yeah, it's a big cabinet though. I mean, we cannot lie. I had to put casters on it because I had to move it around. I'll be honest though, putting the casters is kind of a sketchy thing because this could technically tilt forward. So I am gonna plan to put some bracing. It does have leg levelers, but 2 of them like came out because it reached its limit. Again, what I did to it already is not what it's supposed to be. But I will make modifications so nobody, it doesn't fall on somebody. But yes, I'll do that on my time, don't worry. Again, this is like insane. This is, to me, is mind-blowing. And you gotta keep in mind, I'm the biggest memories I have, especially with arcade games, is Neo Geo. I remember taking quarters from my dad's drawer and I would secretly take like 2 and I would pop in, play Metal Slug. Metal Slug and Puzzle Bobble were like the main 2. But yeah, it just brings back memories. Now, I've never had an actual Neo Geo. So this is my first ever real Neo Geo. If I take you from the rear, you're gonna be able to see the slot. I'll show you the whole thing. Marquee comes up. I did do a discovery though, and I didn't even know this, but apparently these 6 images here, there's actual individual light panels. So I would assume that if you did select the game, only that game is lit. I did discover something where there's basically no cable going to this board. So maybe I'll have to modify something just to get these illuminated. Right now, the game select doesn't work because it does have only a 1-slot system in it. I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed. Again, when you think about Neo Geo, these right here, these are actually like alphanumeric displays that normally show you like how many coins you put in. And whatever it was, the person does not have the numeric displays here. That's okay though. It's not that big of a deal. It is a cutout for like a circle, like as if you want to put a button there, but I will not be doing that. There will be absolutely 0 modifications to this control panel. This is Neo Geo. This is like iconic. This is amazing. The joystick on it is great. It is awesome. Like I said, I'll take you in closer. I'll show you the 1-slot. But man, I opened up the marquee. I discovered this like panel. I was like, what is going on? There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Now this is awesome. Again, whoever did it, they did it right. They have like this whole VGA converter board thing going on. Apparently, what does it have? It's got like it's got like wires that usually would go to a CRT, and then it converts it to like VGA or component composite. So I was doing some research because I said to myself, like, somebody did an LCD conversion on it. How did they do it? But Tanner didn't really like look that deep in the back of it. And I was very surprised to see that it does have VGA. And this right here is a very regular like ViewSonic monitor. So if I just kind of disconnect the power, give it a second, obviously. You don't want to just power it directly back on, 1, 2, 3. You will see that the ViewSonic logo pops up. And to my surprise / to my excitement, it's a regular monitor. It's a regular ViewSonic PC monitor. So VGA is being utilized for the slot, but it does also have an HDMI slot. Now, as far as the mod that I plan to do to this, I have a couple of options, and it's actually funny. I have 2 of these in stock sitting there. I do have a very old, crappy PC. That PC I actually pulled out from, if you guys remember a while back, I did that virtual pin that the customer sent me that came from like China. I have that PC. And on that hard drive, I put Windows 10 on it. So I could do Launchbox and just do strictly MAME Arcade. I would do every game, but obviously you can't play Street Fighter with this layout. Or I do have quite a plethora of Raspberry Pi 3B pluses lying around. So this will either get a Pi or a PC. I'm leaning towards PC only because I do like my retro achievements, and I do plan to stream now with actual Neo Geo hardware with Neo Geo games. So that's where the PC would come in handy. Raspberry Pi, I could do retro achievements, but it doesn't have like the artsy like achievement unlock screen like you've seen on my streams. But yes, that is ultimately the plan. I do plan to basically have a dual boot setup. We'll still keep the stock 1 slot in this, so the Neo Geo 1 slot will stay in there. And then I will have either the Raspberry Pi or the PC-based system. Now, With a dual boot setup, I'm gonna have to do a couple of modifications to like power. Very simple mod. I'm gonna put in obviously a power switch where it's gonna power on either the slot or it's gonna power on the PC or the Raspberry Pi. Now, as far as the actual buttons here, I basically have to sit, solder, or re-crimp wires. So we're gonna keep the JAMA that's already existing here, but I'm also gonna tie in two USB encoders. Same thing, I have them lying around. So this mod technically is not gonna cost me a thing because I have all the parts handy. It's not like I have to go out and buy a PC. I'm using a crappy PC. Granted, it is crappy, but it's only for MAME Arcade. I'm not gonna be putting PlayStation 2 on this because it's only a 4-button layout. So it will have MAME, it will have the entire MAME library. The plus side with like a Raspberry Pi, it'll have like Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. I won't be doing that for the PC side of things because I'm not gonna really play that. I can play that on the BiVic downstairs. But yes, that is the ultimate goal. I will be multicading it, but with the PC. Now, another reason really now, and we're gonna talk about like the actual testing of the system and all that. I was playing a couple of games on this 161 cart. So this right now is the 161. This has all the Neo Geo games. I thought that was 135 games, but apparently it's 161. But as I went down the list, there's quite a few like King of Fighters 97s. Metal Slug, you have Metal Slug 1 and then Metal Slug Plus. Metal Slug 2 and then Metal Slug 2 Plus. So that's probably where like the 30 game jump is. I'm doing some research on this slot. And I do notice that at least with this multi-cart, and I do have other carts, we're gonna go into a whole section about the carts that he gave me. Some of these games, for some reason, we're talking about the 161 slot cart, some games won't play. It'll like reset, bring me back to like the Neo Geo intro. And some of the carts he gave me, they won't boot at all. So I was doing some research. I'm gonna have to take a look at the actual slot. Maybe it needs some cleaning. It might be dirty. And there's a lot to it. But for example, I was running, I believe it was even Metal Slug 2. It's choppy. It's slow. Look at that. I have the volume low, but beautiful. It's like amazing. I do want to see possibly on camera if I could get it to like choppy out. Again, it was something where like I read like, you know, you put the slot in, but then like remove it a little bit and it'll make good contact. But it's very cool. Now this slot though, apparently, I guess it's set to free play because it says credit 0, but I'm able to play the game. But like I said, the one thing that was kind of disappointing to me was that as I played this and as more enemies come on the screen, as you can see, I'm out. So I can't tell if it's a slot issue. I can't tell if it's a cart issue. But it is what it is. Now, the crazy thing is that if I launch like a different game, like regular Metal Slug 1, it works. So I don't know. I can't tell that much. But it's a very long player 1 start press to bring it back to the menu. And yeah, at least we have a cart. And again, it does have original hardware. I plan to keep all that inside. And we'll just have a dual boot setup. So I have best of both worlds. Why not? Let's take a look at the cabinet and the hardware inside. Again, let's look at the control panel real quick because luckily I could bring it down. Beautiful. Like these buttons, 100% authentic. They're so shiny too. Love it. You do have your start here. And like I said, the select game, it is wired. It is wired to the JAMA, but because we only have a 1 slot, there's no way to switch the games and such. So, you know, I was even looking at this and I was like, oh, maybe I could upgrade it or change it to like a 2 slot or a 6 slot. And I'm like, you know, this is where, like, you know, I used to get flamed back in the day. You know, this is where a PC, a Raspberry Pi, I don't do Pis anymore. I'm only putting a Pi in this, possibly, because I have them lying around and they're collecting dust. You know, this is like the advantage to the PC, where you could get a cheap PC to run just strictly MAME, and it'll probably cost you less than what the carts and the slots are, because even Tanner told me, Tanner's like, dude, the carts are money. Like that's a lot of money like there. He has, I'll show you, he's got a Metal Slug 4 brand new in the box. It's never been removed. And I said to him, I was like, do you want to keep these carts? Like, I don't really need them. Me as an arcade builder, multi-cade kind of person, I'll have all the games on a PC. And he's like, no, Vic, I have no like reason for it. I said, okay, I'll take it. It's gonna stay here. It's gonna stay with the cabinet. But yeah, that was like it. That's where, like I said, that's the advantage right now. You can see right now, we either have a issue with the slot or we have an issue with the cart. And like I said, I'm gonna show you the carts. We're gonna try to boot some carts and some carts don't boot at all. So now it's like I got a paperweight. Whereas I could put a PC in it and I could have all the games and such. So I get it. Some people are frowned upon on it, but it is what it is. Back to the hardware. Again, this control panel, beautiful. It's got the plexiglass. It's got the great joystick on it. Amazing. Again, it's kind of disappointing to see, number one, no LCD, but there's nothing wired to it. So, and again, it's a one slot. And then the select game, it's wired to something, but it's only a one slot, so you can't switch the games. I can't tell. There's a date on this that says possibly 1990 or 2010. I'll show you a B-roll of it right now. I can't tell what that says. But it says October 2nd, either 1990 or 2010. I'll shoot some B-roll here, so it's just nice and simple. You can see the front of this cabinet where the coin door is. It's got like the box out. Like, you know, it's got your coin door, but it's like boxed out. Very cool. Very awesome stuff. And again, it is a big boy. I'll do the measurements at the end of this segment, but we'll take a look at the rear real quick. You can see how the person modified it with this ViewSonic. While I'm here, I can't see. I can see, no, it's a 32. They have a 32-inch monitor in this. Pretty like nice, nicely done. Very simple, you know, VESA mount and a little notch out for the buttons. The TV is mounted. Awesome. It's just now the entire inside of this cabinet is just a huge hollow box. It is just massive. You can see there the one slot board, the Neo Geo board, and this big yellow is the cart. So yeah, there you go. This yellow cart, I'm able to pull it out and swap the games. Again, right now is the 161 cart. Taking a look real quick at the top now, it's like, it's such a pain in the ass to get up here. But you can see the speakers there. You can see the little light. Pretty convenient light. I was going to do an LED swap, which I may still have to do that only to illuminate the 6 marquees there. So that might be there. And then you can see at the bottom, they basically put a regular power supply, and then they put like a 3-outlet plug there. So that's pretty convenient because I could either put the PC or the Raspberry Pi plug in there. So I don't have to do any rewiring or anything like that. So he did give me the key to the coin door, which is actually funny because he actually took the key from like a Stern pinball machine. But let's take a look real quick at the marquee on this. So again, I was just like flabbergasted of the process of this. But basically it's just 2 keys here and then it goes up just like that. Unfortunately, no real way to keep it up. I could use my garage door if anything. No, I can't. I'm just gonna have to hold it like that. But look at that. Again, it's just like, you gotta understand like my, I don't know, 8, 9, 10-year-old mind is like, whoa, this is how this opens. So check this out. This is what, like, I was looking at this and I was like, why are there wires coming out of this? And I just lifted one of these and I was like, what is this pink? Like, what is that? What's this pink panel? Each one has a pink panel. And basically I did a quick like video search, and as you select the game, that panel will light up. So that was pretty cool to see. Whoever did this though, it's like basic paper. It's kind of like cardboard paper. So I doubt it's like an actual, you know, game card. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain about it. The Puzzle Bobble, like the print quality is not really that great, but I'm not gonna complain, it's fine. It's cool. The only issue I have though is 2 things. My mind is going crazy because I would want this illuminated. I want these lit up. Even though the game select isn't really there, I would just want it illuminated. So I can't really have it illuminated with this board in the way. So I want to illuminate it. That means 2 things. I could either remove these actual boards, these SNK PCB boards, and then just, you know, put, you know, maybe double-side tape the image here and then have the light shine through. Or I would just, I think I just said it, I would actually try to light these pads up. So what I was saying about what was a little disappointing was that in the rear of the cabinet, whoever modified the cabinet, they left this board in it, this MV-ELA board that's in the rear, and the panel went to this board, but there was nothing going to the PCB, so I don't have the actual connection that goes down to the slot, to the PCB. So that was like the one disappointing thing. So now I'm looking online, and I'm looking at the schematic. It's got a power in, it's got a ground, and then I would assume like each pin lights that specific pad. So I do want to try to see maybe if I can modify something and get the pads illuminated. I don't want to break the boards, obviously, but just pretty crazy. It's very cool. These are two separate boards here, and they're like daisy chained with this wiring. I could take the panel out. It's very interesting stuff. I was very shocked. I was like, wow. The audio on this is loud. It took me about 30 minutes to discover where the audio slider is on the PCB board, but yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Neo Geo, the cards here had individual pads. It's very cool, very shocking. Now, like I said, I'll do some research. Maybe I could get, you know, power on. I don't mind it. I'll just have all the pads on. I don't care. It's just like, you know, it stinks that whoever originally had it, you have the board, but what did you do to the connector? What did you do to the wire that went down? It is what it is. Again, just awesome stuff. I'm in a realm that I've never been in with like Neo Geo, and just seeing like those pads, my mind is like, how can I modify these pads, but without damaging the pad? So I would make a custom kind of connector. I have to still see if it's possible. I have to still see like how much voltage goes to these boards. My mind goes crazy. That's just how my mind is. But right now, let's take a look at the actual game carts that he gave me as well with this. So again, inside right now is the yellow game card you saw, which is a 161. There's 161 games in it. Essentially, the entire Neo Geo catalog is in this one single cart. Like I said though, he did also give me individuals. So we do have here a Strikers, I'll bring it close to you. We do have here a Strikers 1945 Plus. We have a Shock Troopers Second Squad, King of the Monsters, a Puzzle Bobble, and a King of Fighters 98. So again, this is cool. If you don't know what this is, it's like a Super Nintendo NES cartridge. You swap these in and out to change your games. And again, if you had a 6 slot, then 6 games would just be in these slots. It's crazy. But apparently, the big deal is this. As you can see, sealed in the box, it is a Metal Slug 4. And he wasn't joking. It's sealed. And it comes with like the whole like, you would put this, look at this. You would put this like under the glass. It's like your instruction card. Does also have this. I didn't open this. I don't plan to open this because this would have to be sealed, but it looks like a poster of some sort. It's sealed. Like that is taped, original Neo Geo like taped. How to set up your dip switch settings. And yeah, I would assume, yeah, there's like 2 other pieces of paper in here. I would assume one of these is the marquee like paper, but I'm not opening it. I don't have any. I'm gonna resist the urge to open it, but take a look at this. Again, right out of the package is a Metal Slug 4. Look at that. Unbelievable. Smells like plastic. Now this part we're actually gonna launch. We're gonna put in each game and we're gonna see if it works. The reason I'm doing this is because I did test those, and like I believe 2 games, it doesn't boot. So that's where I was going into the whole research realm. Somebody said I have to get like a very specific cleaner for like the pads and stuff, and possibly the slot is dirty. But yeah, I'm gonna have to research to see like what happens if it's not the slot. Like, is there maybe like a watch battery inside of this, and that's what's preventing it from, you know, not booting? I don't know. But for right now, we're gonna swap. We're gonna test out this brand new inbox Metal Slug 4. So I'm gonna obviously power off. I'm gonna gently wiggle the cart out. That we got, well, you can't see me now, but you got one out. Sliding Metal Slug 4 in, making sure it's in there. And again, you do have to do this thing where you gotta just power entirely, it's an entire power boot. So you don't really wanna unplug the cart while there's power to it, but sometimes like that ViewSonic takes some time. Ooh, wow. Uh-oh. Okay, so now that's where like, possibly, maybe, I don't have it all the way in. Let's see. Let's unplug it real quick. Like I said, some people in the forums, they were like, oh, you know, pull it out a little bit. Maybe you put it in too much. Let's try that. Again, I essentially don't think there's any damage if you pull it out while it's powered on, but I did try it where I swapped one and I put it in. Oh, there you go. That booted. Do we have volume? Because I have the volume low. Oh. We do have volume, okay. The track mode doesn't have any volume, but that's cool. But we have essentially Metal Slug 4. Wow. It looks great, honestly, especially with this LCD 32. Man, amazing. This is exactly, it's funny, I had my neighbor Larry, he was like all excited when I told him I'm going to Massachusetts and all that. He's never seen a Neo Geo. He's never really seen games in general, and he's like 76 years old. He was like, Vic, like, you know, what was the game you played? I was like, Metal Slug. Like, I said, like, every time I mention Metal Slug and people don't know what Metal Slug is, I'm like, where have you been? You're living under a rock? Oh no, give me it. Beautiful, Metal Slug 4, there you go. This works beautifully. Nope, there you go. Love it. Oh my goodness, you don't understand the feeling, the amazingness right now of playing Metal Slug on a real Neo Geo cabinet. It's mind-blowing. My mind is blown. All right, next up I put in the Strikers 1945. Oh, this booted. Yesterday, this did not boot. I've never played Strikers 1945. Wow. The joysticks, like I said, this right here, amazing. Let's bring in player 2. Could select our fighter. Wow. Yeah, awesome. Now it's actually crazy. So this is where like my mind is going nuts because I did try Strikers 1945 yesterday and it didn't work. It didn't boot. So it's great to see that it boots now. It's funny, like I said, my like 34-year-old mind is like, oh, you know, I keep removing game cartridges and then putting them back and I'm like, am I missing something? For example, yesterday Shock Troopers didn't work. So let's see if it will work now. Man, again, it's crazy. It's like mind-blowing. But again, you don't really need these carts because you got the 161. But like I said, as you can see, the 161, some games don't work. So I might do the same thing. I'm gonna go bring the 161 back in. So see this? Like this is what I had yesterday. This is Shock Troopers. This is like the test of Neo Geo. This is the actual like PCB menu here. So I'm able to do like, you know, backups and testing and set the dates, but the game should have booted. Again, let me try it one more time. I'm gonna unplug it. And I did try it where like, you know, I would put a game card in while it was powered on and nothing would change. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm not gonna push it all the way in. Let's see. Normally you would hear like the Neo Geo sound. No, see? It's like, ah. So this one definitely, I would have to do some research and to see. This is also what's kind of hard on the job is I don't have anybody to be my eyes. You guys are my eyes, but by the time I make this video, let's do another quick boot. And we might have to call Shock Troopers out. Done. See, so that now I'm gonna have to see like the actual pads on the cart. Maybe that's just like not good. King of the Monsters should work. I did that with my neighbor, so that was pretty cool. Okay, there you go, see? Again, that's just ViewSonic booting up. That's the regular monitor, but King of the Monsters did work. So like I said, right now we have Shock Troopers. The pads don't seem dirty, but I'm gonna have to get that special cleaner and clean them. But there you go. I never really played King of the Monsters. Player versus computer. And it's awesome. It's actually funny, this PCB board has a headphone slider. I've seen some have card readers underneath, but this unit specifically doesn't have that. We also have this here, I don't know if you can see that, where like, I guess you would call it artifacting. You can see like it's skipping on over. It's not that big of a deal, but it is noticeable. I've never played King of the Monsters. Is it like a... I'm getting electrocuted right now. Oh, this guy's kicking me while I'm down, really. Just beautiful, cool. King of the Monsters, there you go. Let's move on to some Puzzle Bobble. Got Puzzle Bobble in. There you go, you just hear it. Oh, such an iconic sound, oh my goodness. You don't understand. That's childhood right there. Oh. My sister loved this game. This game was like, I don't want to say it, but like females gravitated towards this game. This is like a game that like, even my regular like customers that get multi-cade, they're like, does it have Puzzle Bobble? I'm like, yes. Cool. What's also crazy, there's a switch on the PCB where I could switch from mono to stereo. And stereo has like a much deeper sound. It sounds great. Usually it gives you that ball first. Man. Go! Awesome. Puzzle Bobble, good to go. Last one we got is the King of Fighters. Let's see if King of Fighters works. Like I said, normally you hear the Neo Geo sound. See, like that, like ah. While like ViewSonic is booting, you normally would hear it. Now, like I said, some people might say in the comments, Vic, you don't have to turn off the power. I believe you do. And you know what? I'd rather be safe and turn off the power, because it only takes me a second to re-plug it in. So I have now, I'm hearing a clicking on the sound. Most likely then the, oh, see? Okay, hold on. I didn't push it in all the way, so let's see. Nice and easy. I don't want to go all the way down. I'm going like halfway. Let's see, the clicking has stopped. Do we have King of Fighters 98? No. I was gonna get all excited. See, like it's just like, it's literally bringing me back to like Super Nintendo, NES days. You know what was funny? My neighbor was like, blow on it, like an NES cartridge. And I was like, you know, maybe that'll work. I shouldn't be cleaning it with my shirt. Oh, this is even a work, it's not even a work shirt, but whatever. Let's see. A little bit of dirt came off, so let's see. Again, same thing, I'm halfway in. Again, normally you hear like the dan 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 dan. Last one so I don't bore you. Unplug. Let's go hard pressed in. It's funny, even some people said like you have to like bring like try to tilt like the cartridge back. No. That sucks, 'cause it's like I got part of it on. It partially booted. But yeah, let's count it. King of Fighters. I'm doing it while it's powered on, so I hear it doing something. I'm gonna call it King of Fighters is a no. I was doing something while you're recording and you guys can help me, but I'll go back on the video. But yeah, King of Fighters, nope. We're gonna go back, put in that 161 game card. All right, so I got the 161 back in. You know, honestly, I played Metal Slug 4 and it played very well. Like, no issues. I wanna see now, how does the multi-cart handle Metal Slug 4? And as you can see, this happened before. I even reached out to my buddy Joel Retro Lizard. He has a bar top that he either made or he fixed, and he's got a multi-cart in it, and as you can see, I can't play Metal Slug 4. It just boots. For the hell of it, let's see, can we get the King of Fighters 98? That's the one that I had that didn't work. Can we get King of Fighters 98 working on this? So again, I would do some research. I'm anxious to see this right here, this game cart. It was labeled as like Series 2. So I would see like, what do they have? Like what's Series 1? Is there a Series 3? Again, this is just one of those things where putting a PC or a Pi to this, it's a no-brainer. Now, I'm lucky to be able to do that because the person before, they did do an LCD mod to this. So it's fairly easy to do it and add it. Again, keeping everything stock. So at least I'm able to play King of Fighters 98 on this. I have the volume low for my sanity, but these speakers are loud. I'm getting my butt kicked. Oh my goodness, I never played King of Fighters. Oh goodness, I'm getting my tail kicked. No way. Throw a Hadouken. Good. It is a 4-button game. This is a good way to test to make sure when I do my mod, I'll make sure all 4 buttons work appropriately. But yeah, so you can see there. See, like I'm here, like King of Fighters 98 works. Why doesn't Metal Slug 4 work? It's just, you know, I go crazy. The last one was Shock Troopers. We got to try Shock Troopers Second Squad. Let's see if we could get some Shock Trooper action before we end the video. And yeah, so it's cool. You can see like convenient that it's got this multi-cart, but again, is it something where right now, is it the slot? Is my slot an issue? Is the cart an issue? I've never opened up one of these carts, but I'm kind of anxious and tempted to, but at least I gotta play some Shock Troopers here, but I don't wanna speak too soon because I was able to play Metal Slug 1 and then the game would cut out. Look at this, oh my goodness. Oh, we have to play this. Well, it's not a vertical game though. So I was gonna say we should put this on the vertical cab. I do most likely have it as it's a shooter, but look at this. See, look, I'm experiencing some slowdown. So I know for a fact, like Raspberry Pi, I had to put like that, there's a specific line that you edit in RetroArch to speed it up, but Shock Troopers works. So it's like 161 games, but I'm getting an issue with a couple of these. Wow, my guy could jump. Is there an advantage to being able to jump? Look at that, man. This is insane. This is your 8-way. I'm getting killed right now. I'm getting demolished. Look at that, I'm able to hold down bullets. I've never played Shock Troopers, so I'm anxious to play this and hopefully there's some retro achievements, so stay tuned for some streams. But yeah, awesome, 161 games with carts and the slot and all that. Man, a Neo Geo. Well guys, there you have it. The Neo Geo 6 slot gifted to me from Tanner. Again, Tanner, I really appreciate the gift. You have no idea. It's amazing. And I'm more anxious and excited to modify it. Again, for the haters and the keyboard warriors, the slot one slot, the original Neo Geo stuff, all the original JAMA will stay where it is. It will be a dual boot system, so stay tuned for that, because right now, when I end this, I'm gonna modify the, basically gonna have to recrimp and reset new spade connectors. This way I have JAMA and encoder on one, and simple. So don't hate, don't worry, it will be modified, but you could always put it to original hardware and swap between original hardware. Again, a big thank you to Tanner, man. Amazing. This basically, once it's modded, I will bring this to a beach house, my parents' beach house, so that we could play with it during the summer. It is a behemoth of a cabinet. Again, 76 inches tall. Let me grab a ruler. I'll tell you exactly how deep this thing is. And actually, now that I put wheels on it, did it change the height? Let's take a look. Final measurement on this. We are at, 78 and a half inches tall. Overall depth, you are at 36 and a half. And total width on this, 32 and a quarter. Neo Geo 6 slot, again, already modified with the LCD, 32-inch LCD on it. VIC-VP, Gamecase arcade. Stay tuned for the mod, and stay tuned definitely for some live stream on real Neo Geo. I can't even say the word hardware because I won't be using the 161 cart. Neo Geo cab. Sheesh. Thanks, Tanner. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you.